Hi viewers, it's another week and it's our pleasure to bring you another episode of Business Compass. Business Compass is a TV show designed to mentor and guide young entrepreneurs. And today we have a very interesting entrepreneur in the studio, and I have two wonderful gentlemen who are here to support me. Mr. Frank Abe is a senior manager with the Deal Advisory Services Unit at KPMG. Welcome, Frank.
Thank you, sir.
And today we have Mr. Kwame Jantwa. Mr. Kwame Jantwa is a lawyer. He's a small business expert and is a member of the Association of Ghana Industries, and he has broad expertise in all areas of small business management. Welcome, Kwame.
Hello,
Thank
Charlotte.
you for joining us.
Nice to be here.
On today's episode of Business Compass, we have a very interesting young entrepreneur who's tried this adventure a few times, has had some challenges, and I think he's the perfect guest to have on the show today. Before you actually get to meet him, I'd like you to just join us as we visit his premises, learn a little bit more about him, and then we come in studio and meet him physically.
My name is Kwame Obimbrepong. Yes, and this is Brick and Build. I am the managing director and also in charge of operations. Brick and Build is a bent brick manufacturing company, and it's also a building construction company. We've been in business for roughly around 6 years. Yes, we started this business in 2013, but the journey had been up and down, a lot of ons and offs. Yes, the business has collapsed a number of times. I can say that about 3 times. Yes, but from 2018 to now, I can confidently say that Brick and Build has been in serious business. Yes, so roughly about 6 years. I'm very passionate about this business because it gives me a way that I can use local materials to the benefit of, for example, creating employment for people, generating income, and also solving one of the major issues for humans in the world, which is i.e. shelter. So using local clay to produce sustainable quality materials that are conducive for the environment in this part of the world. If we had enough funds, we could mechanize well to first of all improve the quality of our produce and also increase the number of produce we are able to produce, meet the demand. The business will need to move in the right direction, is the right guidance or mentorship. Yes, so the skill or the knowledge to one, manage the business well, and also two, to run the technical stuff or the technical part of the business well. That is number one. Then the other thing too that we need is probably funding, which I believe once the business is in the right shape, then we could well attract investors, or we could be able to acquire the necessary loans that we may need.
Welcome, Kwame, to Business Compass.
Thank you so much for having me.
How are you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
You're a very tenacious entrepreneur.
Thank you.
I like that. I mean, listening to your story, you started out, you tried it a few times, it didn't work out, but you didn't give up.
Yes.
What's giving you this passion? What's fueling this perseverance?
I feel I have something to achieve in this world, and whatever I want to also do, I need money. Yes, money is a very important part of everything,
okay.
But of course that is not the main reason.
Okay.
So I have to keep doing business so that I can have the necessary energy to achieve whatever purpose that I have to fulfill.
I like that. And you cut the bug when it comes to bent bricks from childhood. Your father was doing bricks.
Yes.
How did that work out for him?
From what I know, it's also been up and down. Yes, in the business. He started a business, I think, when I was 3 years.
Okay.
Yes, so all my life.
Oh, it's been bricks.
Yes, it's been brick.
Are you the only one who is continuing the family tradition?
I have a step brother.
Okay.
He's also trying
into
to come
bricks
in Kumasi. Yes.
Okay.
It comes easy because we grew into it.
Okay.
So you ask yourself, okay, is the easiest thing you can start life with? So why don't you start with it?
With what you know?
Yes, with what you know.
Makes sense.
Yes.
Okay, so when we watch your video, you said your main challenges are raising capital, managing your receivables, receiving what is due you from your clients, and then you talked about staff loyalty.
Yes.
So we're going to take all this, we'll discuss all this, and my experts have been poring over your paperwork, and I think they have some very interesting guidance to give to you today. But if we take a step back, if we talk about capital, before you can talk about raising capital, you are not going to be attractive to investors unless you're very properly structured.
Yes.
So what's your structure like? You said you were registered as a sole proprietor.
Yes.
And now you're moving to a limited liability company.
Yes. Yes.
You haven't finished that process.
We haven't finished.
Why the transition?
We have to, because we know that in Ghana, in business, yes, if you are a sole proprietor, the risk level for investors and business partners is very high, so people will not take you serious. But if you move on to a limited liability, you've separated the owner of the business from the business. So the business it's itself an individual now. Yeah, so we believe that we want to really get serious, grow the business, and we believe that the first step to getting the business to where we want to get it to is to register it as a limited liability.
I don't know. I've seen sole proprietorships that are very well structured. I've also seen limited liability companies that are not structured at all. So I'm not sure that just a change in your legal structure alone is going to make you structured. And if you look at your entrepreneurial history, you've had, it's like pretty much the same setback twice.
Yes.
You run into debt, it collapses, then you start again, you run into debt. So you could have been better structured as a sole proprietorship, and it wouldn't have collapsed, and you would have transited. So I'm having a challenge believing that just by changing your status from sole proprietorship, yes, to limited liability, it does open the opportunity for others to invest in it, because you can't invest in a sole proprietorship. But I still think that there's a challenge structure. So right now, how many of you are shareholders in this business?
Right now we are two.
Two, you and your fiancé?
Yes.
Okay. And so two of you are going to be shareholders. Have you sat down to do a costing of what each person is bringing into the business?
We haven't seriously done that.
Okay, so you see, it's a structure issue.
Yes.
Honestly, and I'll bring my experts in, but from the legal side, just going into your history and your challenges, I'm not sure I would have recommended a sole proprietorship for you. Sorry, a limited liability company. I think I would have recommended an incorporated partnership.
Okay.
Because you have a partner in the business who is also a fiancé, that brings a lot of risk. I'm not even sure you're at the point where you're ready for external investors. But if you were going to go into an incorporated partnership, the downside is that your liability is still unlimited, just like the sole proprietorship.
Okay.
But the good side is that it forces you to recognize that there's two of you. Part of the requirements for registering an incorporated partnership is that you'd have to submit a partnership agreement, which would state what each party is bringing into it. So it forces you to start the minimum structural stuff you need to be doing. And then as you grow, both of you grow, you can now go into the limited liability. And for an incorporated partnership, you only need to renew your registration once every year. So it's kind of like a middle way between the sole proprietorship and the limited liability. That would have been my recommendation for you before you go full-blown into the limited liability structure, because I am concerned that you may not be able to handle all the obligations that come with that. Having an audit, you have to file your accounts as well for a partnership. So you see, it kind of forces you to start learning how to do your structures. I'm not sure you can handle all the requirements of a limited liability. I don't know what my colleagues think, but that's my sense of where you should be going. Guys, what do you think? Kwame, you're a lawyer, at least in one of your lives.
Yes, I think one of the major challenges for any financier would be the structure of man and wife in a company. A lot of financiers find that a bit challenging.
With no agreement.
Yes, with no agreement. Because man and wife, you're at home, man and wife, you're at work. Sometimes things that happen at home feed into work, and that can create...
The quarrels from home.
Yes, that can create a lot of challenges for you. So you need to find a situation where you can leave home and your business partners in the work. Because if you do something wrong and she sees you've done it wrong and she says it, you could take it in a different way and vice versa. But there's one question I want to ask you. You've been through this thing twice, it's failed. What do you see your responsibility as a CEO, as the managing director? How do you see that position?
I think part of the problem we have in Ghana is this CEO.
Yes. How do you see
managing
yourself?
director actually makes more sense.
Yeah.
Even you can't even be managing director of a sole proprietorship, but I think that term alone forces people to recognize what their obligations are. You're a director and you're in charge of managing. This CEO thing we're using, which is even being wrongly used, I think it's from our culture where everybody wants to be a chief. It doesn't help. So what is your responsibility?
Yes.
How do you see it?
How do you see yourself?
Well, I
And
see.
before you go on, do you class yourself as a CEO or do you class yourself as a managing director?
I class
they're
myself
different things.
as a managing director, not a CEO.
Are you sure?
Yes. Yes.
And what do you see your responsibilities to
My responsibilities, I believe that everything rises and falls on leadership. So whether the business will fail or grow depends on me. So I have to be able to identify my weaknesses and my strengths, and also identify the right people that I can work with, because I can't do everything alone, which I am currently seriously working on. Fortunately, not too long ago, we've been able to bring an accountant into the business, and it's been quite interesting.
Okay.
Yes.
Hold that thought. You're clearly on the right path. You're working towards a more structured environment. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we would wrap up on this, your legal structure issue, and go into the accountant, because I think this ties in with your previous mistakes where you think you had challenges and how you're trying to correct that going forward, and that's really important. So we'll take a quick break, and when we come back to Brick and Build.
Order the Huawei Y9A before 1st October and get a free band for E and a gift box. Terms and conditions apply.
'Cause I'm the new best thing. I'm the new best thing. Better than you've ever seen. I'm the new best thing. I'm gonna be the king. I bring that ching ching ching. Yeah, I'm the new best thing. I'm the new best thing.
Discover new Silky Guinness Smooth. Perfectly balanced for a smooth, refreshing taste. New Guinness Smooth.
With our new Always On bundles, you'll never run out of data in the middle of any important activity, no matter what. Choose from our Always On plans and enjoy true 4G LTE that never stops. Surfline, it's about time.
Can I rent a driver and feel bossy? Can I own a cab from minutes to hours? Can I get my wards picked up and dropped off to and from school? Can I get a cab within a reasonable time? Can I be picked up from my hotel to the airport? Can I get a cab for the sick or the disabled? Oh yes. How? CD Cab is your one-stop facility. At CD Cab, we have a driver rental service and a range of cabs for every business. Our fleet is comfortable, clean, safe and enjoyable. WhatsApp 0556 259 081 or download CD Cab app on Google Play Store or App Store. Locate CD Cab at C353/7 Olympic Road, Kukumemle, Accra. CD Cab, timely, safer, reliable and convenient.
Order the Huawei Y9A before 1st October and get a free band for E and a gift box. Terms and conditions apply.
يا ولد سأخبر أمك.
Attends que je le dise à ta mère.
So put a mask on, or else we'll tell your mom.
Welcome back, viewers. Today it's our privilege to have Kwame from Brick and Build in the studio with us, and we are building your company block by block, yes, brick by brick today. So we were talking about your legal structure and why we think that you may not be ready for the commitment of limited liability, especially since it is like there's a husband and wife relationship in the company. I really think that it can work. I don't think that the fact of marriage is a deal breaker for the company, but it just puts additional responsibilities on you to create structures that would give comfort to bankers, to investors, to customers, to everybody who is dealing with you, for them to know that it's a serious business and you're not sitting in the office discussing your dinner menu. So I still think you should consider the partnership route. And in terms of the liability issues, the unlimited, because that's unlimited liability. But you've managed as a sole proprietor, but we can use insurance to ring fence some of these and limit any possible damage.
Can I ask
But you
a
had,
question?
yeah, you have a question? Okay.
Yes. So I was thinking, what about if we register as a limited liability? Then myself, my fiancé will be shareholders in the company. Then probably, maybe sometime later, we may decide that, okay, the accountant is so valuable to the company, why don't we give him about 10% or 5% or something, depending on what he is bringing on board. Then probably, maybe in the future, say 10 years, because personally, I have something in mind about having to roll out shareholding options for some of our most valuable employees.
Okay.
So
there's two ways of looking at that. First, with the incorporated private partnerships, you can have minimum 2, maximum 20 members.
Okay.
So it does give you the flexibility to admit new partners. But again, your paperwork needs to be strong. You have a partnership agreement, you spell out what everybody's getting, obligations of everyone, so the roles are also defined. Like Kwame was asking you, the roles are defined. Are you going to remain the managing partner? What are the roles of all the other partners? And then also, when you grow to a point where you're used to managing these obligations, renewing your registration every year, filing your accounts every 15 months, you'll see that you are better prepared to take on the responsibilities of a limited liability company, and you can always change the registration structure and move to limited liability. The fact that you are registered in one structure now does not stop you from changing it in future when you think that you've grown to that point and you want to do that. So it's not cast in stone.
In addition to that, I also think you need to have an organizational chart as to who is what.
Who is doing what?
At the moment, you don't know what your wife's position is in the company. That organizational chart will help you structure yourself better and understand who is responsible for what and who reports to who. I think it is something you should consider if you haven't considered it already.
Now, before we went on the break, you came up with something very interesting, that you had recently hired an accountant.
Yes.
This is a full-time staff.
Yes.
He reports to work every day.
Yes,
Okay.
he does. But
And
mostly works both in and out of the office.
Okay, no, that's fine.
Yeah.
And prior to this, before you restarted this business again in 2018, you had challenges with getting payments from clients, debt. So have you seen any change since you had an accountant on your payroll?
Yes, the major change I've seen is me as the managing director. I don't meddle too much into the finances of the company.
Can you still take out money?
What used to happen was that I mixed my personal money with the business's money.
Yes.
So whenever the company needed money for something, and I had my own money, I would just use it. When I need money for something too, and
exactly
some revenue comes in, I also take it and use it.
If there's a family funeral, what did you do?
Yes, it's the same thing. Yes, but he's really been serious.
He structured you guys.
Yes, and he demands that every money that comes in moves to the bank first.
Exactly.
At times it's quite frustrating because you need to quickly do some payments here and there.
I can
but
imagine.
he insists, yes.
Yeah.
So we are working it out gradually.
But isn't that why you could tell us very specifically that this was your turnover for this year?
Exactly. I didn't know. So I just called him and told him, asked him, Frank, so how much or what is this? He said, okay, I'll just text it to you. He sent it to me. And
I think we've harped on this in previous episodes, that the first key to business success is the separation between the owners and the business, especially in terms of managing finances. So he's really put you on the right path.
But it's not very easy.
It's frustrating.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's sacrificing for the future, really, if you really want this to grow. But you talked about capital, so I'll hand over to them. Do you want to raise capital?
Do you pay yourself a salary?
Yes.
You do.
Now the accountant has put him on a salary.
Yes.
So,
now he has.
So everybody's getting a salary,
yes,
no matter how small it is.
Yes.
Out of the products that you have, clay burnt bricks, brick tiles, and bricks, which would you say is your flagship product?
The one that sells most.
The one that sells most is the brick slices, the one we use to clad.
Oh, okay.
So will that be the brick tiles?
Yes, the brick tiles.
Brick tiles.
Yes.
And in terms of the revenue that comes from that, how much of that will cover your 90,000
equipment cost? Yeah.
Yes. Because you see, when you take the money, you've got to be able to pay back. And you've got to look at the kind of products you have that would be able to pay that money back. Because that 90,000 is just beginning. As you move forward, as you grow, you still need more money. And sometimes that more money, it's advisable not to use what the company has, but to go for extra debt or equity. So out of the products you have, which one would you say can contribute to the payment of the debt you're going for?
About 100,000 pieces. 1,000 pieces of these slices is 850 cedis. So it means that if you are selling...
Is that a standard quantity that you would sell on a continuous basis?
No, let's hear that. 1,000 pieces.
Is 850 cedis.
So one piece is what?
85 pesos.
85 pesos. So how many pieces would you sell?
Exactly. And
yes.
what are the
so
sizes
that's not even the margin. That's
yes.
sales.
That's sales.
Not
yes.
that's not
yes.
your profit.
It's not the profit. It's just sales.
Yes.
And okay, go on.
Yes. So if we sell about 100,000 pieces, we are making 85,000 cedis.
And in what duration can you sell that 85,000 pieces?
No, 100,000 pieces.
100,000 pieces.
Yes. What duration?
If we do the right marketing, because we know that the demand is there, if we do the right marketing, within 3 months we should be able to sell that quantity. But the issue too will be, are we going to be able to produce that within that 3 months?
No, we'll get into your production, but I'm still concerned. If you tell me that you can sell 85,000 cedis worth,
yes,
which is 100,000 pieces within 3 months, what is your margin on that? Because remember, you're servicing a loan.
Yeah.
So this is revenue.
yes.
This is not profit.
Yes.
What is your profit from the 85,000 cedi sale?
Our profit is 45 pesos.
To almost 50%.
Yes, just a little above 50 pesos.
So roughly, if you sold 85,000, your profit will be 40,000 cedis.
Yes.
Meaning you have to certainly do more than 6 months, because if this is in 3 months, then another 40,000 in another 3 months, that's 6 months. So you need like a 9-month period to pay back. That's not bad actually.
So
if they can get the target.
If you can get the target. And so the next question to what Charlotte raised is, what is your competition selling at? What is the cost of your competition?
We're entering competition.
Because that would also have some burden on what you're selling. The competition, is it near you? The competition, is it far away from you? The competition, is it going to the same markets you're going to? Because that would reflect on the price that you sell at.
Kwame, take a deep breath. I see your eyes are widening. But this is the challenge of business. You start talking about capital, before you know it, we're entering operational matters, then we're entering marketing, then we're entering strategy. So we'll give you time to drink some water, catch a breath. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we will look at Kwame's competition.
Akoto loves his family. He works hard to take care of them. So Ifya, his young daughter, can become the doctor she's always dreamt of. And Akosia, his lovely wife, can open the nursery school she talks about all the time. He can see a happy, relaxed retirement in the years to come. But life can get in the way of our dreams. Unable to work, how do your dreams come to pass? Don't let life's tragedies get in the way of your family's dreams. Get a life insurance policy from Star Life today. Star Life, your solid partner for life.
Close-up deep action with antibacterial mouthwash formula and deep cleaning gel. Close-up deep action. Enjoy long-lasting fresh breaths.
To help fight the spread of germs, learn Lifebuoy's hand washing habits. Wash hands with soap or use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer. Together, let's help fight the spread of germs in Africa.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Order the Huawei Y9A before 1st October and get a free band for E and a gift box. Terms and conditions apply.
Don't just watch, be wowed. Get fired up. get down, catch feels, drop the mic, choose to be moved, on the move, hot spot, any spot, enjoy a new view, walking on other shoes, power heels, paws, and feet. Take your stories to the streets. Hold court with court queens, ice queens, and yas queens. Fly away, come back home, and enjoy online entertainment on any screen. Sign up at showmax.com and change the way you watch.
Welcome back, viewers. So just before the break, Kwame was asking the other Kwame very tough questions about brick and build and the competition and all that. Kwame, we're trying to help.
Yes. Kwame, I'm not trying to put you on the spot. Yes. I'm trying to get you to appreciate that in calculating your cost, your pricing, there are other things that come into play that become cost to you. And you've got to recognize that, because if you don't set your pricing at a figure where it can take care of all the cost and your debt, then you're spiraling backwards. And so you need to look at your competition, you need to look at your target market, you need to look at the range of products you have and which sells well, and you need to look at your staffing. You said your staff sometimes do untoward things.
I think we're going to do a whole section on the staff.
And that can cost you money. Yes. So you need to appreciate all these things
before you price.
Exactly, before you price. Very important.
Okay, Frank.
Okay, so thank you, Kwame. You've mentioned the competition and other things. So for me, what I see with your business, I mean, every entrepreneur always mentions, oh, we don't have the capital. We need 90,000 to buy equipment. We don't have it. But really, there are other financing options you could consider. For example, you mentioned to me that really you haven't even looked at the real estate and the corporate building market. And the reason is that you think you struggle to meet the demand. And I'm thinking that your business, it depends on volume. So if there was a high demand for the products out there, one of your options would be rather look at that market strategically, find a key player in that market and tell the player, look, I need equipment financing and I want to pay you with an output. Okay, so from the numbers we've done so far, maybe if it means that you producing, is it 300,000 or whatever pieces to pay for the equipment, then you agree. And that will require a bit of discipline from you, because once you bring in other people into your business and you are not disciplined, you will fail. The discipline means that if the equipment comes in, you don't sell to third parties. You sell to that person to defray the equipment. Okay? And before you go into an arrangement like this, a couple of things you have to consider. One, do I have the right raw materials to produce the output to meet the needs of that real estate person? So you have to consider whether you have enough clay deposits, do you have enough people to produce that output within the short time. You probably would need energy source, because probably you are using firewood. You need to consider other energy sources. So from where I sit, to be able to even do that volume, you may need to consider energy sources from places like gas instead of firewood. You may need to see if there are technologies on solar available and do that comprehensive financing requirement for equipment. That would take care of the entire production chain, and then approach some of these people. It could be that it could be 200,000, but your margin is high enough such that if you are able to mechanize properly and you're able to produce the right volume, you'll be able to pay off some of these things maybe within a year or...
Okay, before Kwame responds, I had two questions.
Yeah.
First of all, you find a lot of entrepreneurs who say that we need so much money to buy equipment and mechanize. But I've always wondered, and I saw this in banking, have they actually done the analysis to show that if we invest 90,000 into equipment, these are the returns? These are the changes it's going to make to the business. Have you done that exercise?
We've done it, but not comprehensively.
So before you can deploy that kind of capital, you need to actually sit and do that analysis to make sure that you're going to get returns that are worthy of the investment you're talking about. Second thing, from what Frank was saying in terms of increasing the quantities. Of course, economies of scale. The more you produce, the higher the unit cost becomes. Those were your 2 points you wanted to make?
So I realized that when he had money, he had ambition. He didn't focus to make sure one business model was successful, and he was ambitious to expand. You know, instead of making sure that
Kwame, you have to walk before you can run.
you get it. So, and it's a basic problem we found in a lot of entrepreneurs, where we are doing way too many things at the same
product lines
time.
and all that.
You stretch yourself thin.
Yeah, you stretch yourself thin, and any shock that comes means that your business will break, and then you can't handle it.
So did you go into like a totally different, because I've seen that again in banking. The person is selling Brunei where he comes for a loan in Brunei, and then the next thing he's doing road construction with the money, and then he's not paid, and then everything collapses.
The first time I was supposed to produce for a client, and the demand was quite rising.
Okay.
So we thought that, okay, why don't we build a machine? So we took the client's money, invested in the machine, but we miscalculated.
Of course.
So we realized that we sunk even about 2 or 3 times the client's money into the machine. We still didn't have the machine.
Okay, viewers, with this confession by Kwame, we need to find out how to make sure it doesn't happen again. Kwame, I think you need the coach. So we'll go to Coach's Corner, get some motivation. I think today she's talking about collaboration. I think you need that. Collaboration with clients, collaboration with your customers, collaboration with investors, industry collaboration. So let's go listen to the coach, straight to Coach's Corner, and when we come back, we would see how we can make sure that you don't get into this kind of sticky situation again.
Here we are again to Coach's Corner on Business Compass. I am Coach Bell. Today's tip is on the power of collaboration. There's an African proverb that says, if you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, go together. Collaboration is a great tool for all small business owners, regardless of the industry you are in or in the type of business you have. It is the connections you form with others and the different ways you collaborate with those people you form connections with that will help you grow your business to new levels. Collaboration helps you grow your network. Being successful in business requires that you consistently make connections and form alliances. Collaboration is educational. One of the biggest benefits of collaboration is the opportunity to learn from others. Collaboration can help you save money. Many collaborative relationships involve combining intellectual contribution, work, and sometimes expenses. Collaboration solves problems. Have you heard of crowdsourcing? There is an undeniable power in numbers. If one person can't accomplish something on his or her own, 2 or 3 or more people will be able to get even more done. Let's not forget that businesses are about relationships. The relationship between you and your customers, the relationship between you and your workers, and the relationship between you and your money. Let's keep it a healthy relationship.
Thank you, Coach Bell. We enjoyed the message on collaboration. And Kwame, I'm sure you've learned something from the coach.
Yes, absolutely.
But I think Frank and Kwame still have something to say to you on why you should not take funds meant for one purpose and deploy it to another purpose, no matter how good the second purpose is.
Okay. so I mean, it's interesting. I propose customer financing to you, and you've done some at some point, and you got it wrong.
What did he do wrong?
So basically, he took client's money that the client was expecting products very soon, invested it in a capital project that takes a long time to complete, to even produce the output, without letting the client know what he's using his money for.
Maybe he did. Did you tell the customer?
Yeah. So look, in small businesses and anybody starting a startup, credibility is critical. Yeah. It's important. It's important than the money you make. It's important than.
So basically, you could not supply the client the products you had ordered.
Not all.
Not all. Yeah.
Okay. You did some. You've tried. Okay.
So if you had told the client, look, given this order, I need to expand my capacity.
So I'll put some of the funds.
I'll put some of the funds into building and equipment, and then I'll be able to supply you later. It would have been more credible. Okay, because you communicate an expectation and you make sure you meet that expectation. And if immediately you miss that expectation, you've killed your business, because all businesses you've seen thrive on credibility, and you need to do that. So there's nothing wrong with over communicating, but there's everything wrong with not communicating properly.
Okay. Let me be nice.
Yes, as a managing director, and if I can call you owner of the business, yours is not only to think of today. In any step you take, think of the impact tomorrow.
I think it's called sustainability.
Sustainability. It's very, very, very important, and you can't take it for granted, because this money that you put into something else, it stopped you from being able to commit yourself to the quantum that is required. And remember, if you're able to produce the quantum for the client, he too will now tell his friend, I went to this company, they did a good business for me, and can bring more business in. So be very careful, especially at, and I can say at your young age. Some of us have gone through it and we've passed through it. Be very, very careful how you handle people's finances when they bring orders to you. There was one thing I saw on here which I wasn't sure what it meant. Construction services. What is that? You do construction work and that kind of thing? Is that what that means?
Yes, that's what it means. At times we do painting work, renovation work. But
doesn't that take you out of your core line?
Exactly. You're spreading yourself very thin.
You need to focus.
You need to focus and concentrate on initially those products that you have. As it builds up, I'm telling you, you make more money 4 or 5 years down the line, and you can diversify.
Even the building renovation and remodeling, that can get into very sticky waters.
Sticky
you're not going to be dealing with other people outside your area of core expertise.
Yes.
That can be dangerous.
You had challenges with artisans when you went that route. So why do you want to go into having to chase artisans to go and do a client's order, and then after that subsequent business goes to them and you are losing out? So focus.
Okay, let's talk about your overall vision. I think we've dealt with the little issues. You say that you hope to become the largest brick production company in West Africa in the next 3 to 5 years. First of all, is it 3 or is it 5 years?
5 years.
5 years, in the next 5 years. Okay, so in your mind's eye, what does the largest brick production company in West Africa look like? Remember, you're talking West Africa.
Yes.
How many countries are in West Africa?
We have about 16.
Okay. All of West Africa?
Yes.
Francophone and Anglophone. What does the largest brick production company look like?
To me, the largest brick production company produces the most bricks and is also able to transport.
Most bricks is not a number. Give me a number. Because for you to have this as a vision, it should be clear. It should be documented. You should have written down this vision. And so you're telling me in 5 years, we'll be producing 1 million bricks a month. And if you give me a number, I'll check what the large brick companies are doing. So what does this look like? If you don't know that, then it means you don't have a clear vision. And you need to go back to that table, sit with your partners, sit with your employees, whoever is relevant to the business, and craft this vision properly. It's a good goal to have, but there is no clarity. You see, when you even say 3 to 5 years, that shows us that the work has not been done. So in 5 years, what does the largest brick production company in West Africa look like? So how many years is it going to take you to become the largest in Ghana? And then we now look at Anglophone West Africa, for instance. This is off the top of my head. So you're looking at Gambia, you're looking at Sierra Leone, you're looking at Nigeria, you're looking at where else? Among those ones, what does the largest brick production company in those ones look like? Before you now know that in 5 years you need to conquer West Africa and this is what the numbers will look like. So you need to set your targets right and then know that for you to be on track, year 1, this is how many bricks I need to be producing and selling in year 1, in year 2, in year 3. And remember, as Frank told you earlier, you have competition. While you're growing, your competition is not sleeping. They're also growing. So you need to be tracking all that. But I don't think that this vision is clear enough. I think you need to do some more work on the visioning process. And it ties into what Kwame also told you. I don't know, your vision is to become the largest brick production company. I don't see construction services here. I don't see renovation and remodeling. So clearly, even in your mind, even in your dreams, those two are not there.
Wow.
Okay, so we have a few minutes. Final.
Let me just add to this. I think the vision is a vision that is achievable with the AFCFTA now in place, the African Continental Free Trade Area in place. So if that is what you're going to do, you need to now investigate what this means.
What opportunities
are there? How does it apply to you? What's the kind of competition you're looking at? Which countries would you start with? And for once, you start with the countries that have purchasing power. So you go to Nigeria, 200 million to 300 million people, huge market.
Do you know your competition in Nigeria?
So that is the work you've got to do. You've got to do all that work. And the one thing I'll say to you is that business has not got to do with money. Business has got to do with idea in your head, putting it on a piece of paper,
value,
and going to somebody who has money to say, I like that, and they will invest in you. If you can't move your idea here onto a piece of paper to convince someone, forget the money. Money doesn't come in. So you have to make sure that whatever you're going to put down, and I will blend it with my final thoughts, whatever you're going to put down, you've got to do research. A lot of the companies in Europe have an R&D department. I'm not saying you should have an R&D department, but you should, within yourself as managing director, be able to do research at any given time. There are new technologies for equipment, there are new technologies for how you do the bricks. Learn those new technologies and be the first person to bring it into Ghana to make sure that you can achieve this vision. And it's not a 9-day wonder thing where you said it and that is it. You need to go through the processes.
Hard work.
Hard work to achieve it. Look, don't look at sitting in a Mercedes-Benz today. Don't look at sitting in a BMW today. Don't look at having a big house today. You might make 200,000 margin. Don't think of going to buy a new car because the new cars have not yet been made. But invest in the business. By the time you get to my age and even before, when you're now sitting in that Mercedes, you don't have to worry about anything.
Okay. So,
thank you.
Walking before you run.
Yeah, exactly. And I would continue with that to say, look, get one thing right and let us be established before you move on. And to do that means that you must make sure that you don't disappoint people. I like your tenacity. The fact that you've started, it didn't go well, you started again, it didn't go, and you've started again. You've got the entrepreneurial heart.
Yes,
most of us cannot stand that level of failure and sort of resuscitating yourself from that. So you've got the spirit, you've got the energy. You need to focus on certain things, and you need to let your word be your word, okay, even at any cost. And I believe that you can achieve and achieve more, because the market that you are looking at, for me, I think is big, and you can make a lot out of it.
Yeah, it's big.
It's big. It's a big market. It's
big market.
And let me say huge, not even big. It's huge.
Okay.
Because if you look in West Africa, then you can achieve a lot. So please, we can sit and see what we can guide you.
And just to add to Frank, once you have that capacity, you can change government policy.
Yeah.
Okay.
To move from cement to block, so to brick. which is phenomenal.
Kwame, you've got us all passionate about your passion, bricks. But we have to take a break. But before the break, we want to say, if you have any challenge, any business challenge, you've listened to Kwame, you see some similarities, there's something you want us to help you with, please send us a 1-minute video of your challenge. And my experts and I will be very happy to provide you answers or guidance to help you get past that. And you can send it to our WhatsApp number in Ghana, which is 026 300 5055. I believe it's on the screen. And we promised that we would get back to you. So we would take a quick break, and when we come back, we will wrap up with Brick and Build.
With our new Always On bundles, you'll never run out of data in the middle of any important activity, no matter what. Choose from our Always On plans and enjoy true 4G LTE that never stops.
Surfline, it's about time.
'Cause I'm the new best thing. I'm the new best thing. Better than you've ever seen. I'm the new best thing. I'm gonna be the king. I bring that ching ching ching. Yeah, I'm the new best thing. I'm the new best thing.
Discover new silky Guinness Smooth. Perfectly balanced for a smooth, refreshing taste. New Guinness Smooth.
Mama, how can we fight germs? We can fight the spread of germs by washing hands frequently with soap, like a geisha bar. Stay strong and wash long. Help prevent the spread of germs by hand washing with soap, like geisha.
Order the Huawei Y9A before 1st October and get a free band for E and a gift box. Terms and conditions apply.
Thank you, Kwame and Frank, for very great advice. I think it's been very practical, very hands-on. Kwame, did you get some value out of all this?
I got a lot of value.
A lot of value. I know we've thrown quite a bit at you, but your issues were very varied, so we had to go all over. Unfortunately, we didn't have enough time to deal with issues about outstanding payments from your customers. And I think there was an issue on HR, loyalty from your staff. Yes. We would see you outside because we've run out of time, and we would deal with that. But viewers, if you're watching at home and you think you have any challenges that you think we should address, or business questions, there's been a lot of terms we've thrown out today. Capital financing, equipment leasing, equity, debt, incorporated partnerships, limited liability companies, equity, interest. If you have any business questions, please send us a 1-minute video. Tell us what your challenge is, tell us your industry. Send it to 026 300 5055. The number should be on the screen. And we promise that we would address your challenges and send you answers and give you some guidance. Now back to Kwame. Brick and Build. We're very excited about Brick and Build. We think that Brick and Build can absolutely be the largest brick manufacturing company in West Africa in 5 years. But it's going to take a lot of hard work and dedication from you. And so guys, what should we send Kwame off with? Which vehicle? Especially as Kwame has told him not to buy a Mercedes now. Let's give him another car. So we have KYC, know your customer. We have C, never dry.
Structure.
We have structure.
Time changes.
We have time changes. We have focus. I think focus.
Yeah. Yes, focus.
What do you think?
Down the line, you can get time changes, but focus.
Okay. So, Kwame, this is yours. We think that if you focus, you can absolutely deliver on your vision. But you need to focus. You need to leave everything else and focus on brick making, not renovations, not remodeling, not construction. That's not your area. Focus on your niche. You have a niche market. Focus on it.
If it means driving a bone shaker.
Yeah, drive a bone shaker.
These guys are mean. We need a lady on the panel. I need my ladies back. So, viewers, that's been our show for this week. We were privileged to have the founder of Brick and Build. He's a very tenacious young entrepreneur, and he truly has the mind of an entrepreneur. Failure means nothing to you, and I love that. You fail forward. You fail, you learn from it, and you just keep going. So keep going, Kwame, and it's been a privilege and an honor to have you. And thank you to Frank and our big Kwame for coming to join us and to help us give guidance to Brick and Build. So viewers, it's been such a pleasure to have you, and thank you for making time to join us. Thank you also to Fiducia Services Limited, the creators of Business Compass, and thank you to GHOne, our partners, and the technical crew who have been so dedicated and so committed. Thank you, everyone, and we look forward to another wonderful show next week. Remember, we are Business Compass. We are the GPS for your business, and I'm your host, and my name is Charlotte Osei.
It's been a very exciting and insightful session. I came to a clinic for my business, and the doctor's prescription is to focus. As you can see, my bone shaker here, that's my new ride. Yes, so I'm going to really focus on the key aspects of my business, not really stretching myself thin. So focus on producing quality brick and serving customers well.
I go kill you with enjoyment.
10 years of rewarding radio and television excellence. 10 years of rewarding excellent voices and personalities. 10 years of providing quality entertainment. RTP Awards, it's 10 years. The excitement is